In less than a month, Kentuckians will go to the polls and decide who will lead the state for the next 4 years. Democrat Andy Beshear and Republican Daniel Cameron want the job of governor. All week, I've been bringing you their words on a variety of topics, from health care to safety. At the end of my lengthy interviews with each candidate, I asked about Senator Mitch McConnell. Recently, McConnell froze during a news conference in northern Kentucky. This wasn't the first time, and it raised the question of who would the governor appoint to replace McConnell should he step down. After all, depending on who is chosen, it could alter the balance of power in the Senate. In Kentucky, the law is that the party of the candidate, so in this case the Republicans, would nominate 3 people, and the governor would choose from those 3. If you're elected and Senator McConnell decides for a various number of reasons that he cannot fulfill the rest of his term, who would you like to appoint?
Well, I'm grateful for the way in which Senator McConnell has served our Commonwealth, and know that he was instrumental in getting the efforts undertaken for the Brent Spence Bridge. So I appreciate and applaud him, and grateful for his service and his leadership on that front, and making sure that we have conservative justices on the United States Supreme Court. And so I don't want anything to happen to him, and certainly don't want anything to happen to Senator Rand Paul, who daily fights for conservative and constitutional values. God forbid if anything was to happen to either one of them, I'm going to appoint a Republican to be in the United States Senate. And that's different from Andy Beshear, who he, along with the far left of his party, are going to insist that he disobey state law and appoint a Democrat to fill a seat if, God forbid, anything happened to either one of those individuals.
If Senator McConnell decides he wants to step down for various reasons, who do you plan to appoint?
Well, Senator McConnell is not stepping down. His office has told me that when I talked to them about the senator, and he has specifically said it on the floor. Senator McConnell's going to serve out his term, and I look forward to continuing to serve as governor with him to get things done.
We can't see the future. There may be a reason he cannot continue to serve.
I'm not going to dance on somebody's grave who's alive. I mean, this speculating about somebody's health is something
let me just
don't
ask
believe
in. I'm not saying he's going to die. Would you abide by the law in Kentucky that you have to appoint one of the 3 suggested by the GOP?
Well, I don't think we're going to face that situation. Senator McConnell is going to serve out his term, so I haven't even looked at that law in any significant detail. I've known Senator McConnell most of my life. I went to the Governor's Scholars Program with his daughter, and I just don't think it's right to speculate on his health when he says he's doing fine. You know, he's just a couple years older than my dad. And I would hope somebody in my situation, if they were asking about my dad, wouldn't play that guessing or speculation game. Senator McConnell, I believe him. He's always served out a full term, and I think he will here too.
We aired 6 questions I asked of the candidates this week. You can find all of those questions and the candidates' responses on WCPO.com.